So the 37 Chevy starting to come together. I've been focused the last couple of months on mostly on sheet metal work, trying to get the firewalls finished. In that period, I've had that cab on and off probably at least 20 times, making everything fit properly. But I'll just give you a walkthrough step by step what I've done. So I'm doing the sheet metal work to close in the cowl and join the cab to the firewall, the front and the back firewall. I need to make a couple of flanges so that I can bolt and unbolt them. I still want to be able to remove the cab afterwards. So bent up some 3/4 by 1/8 thick flat stock here. You can see I've reinforced the front firewall with that, just spot welded it on. And I'm making a double flange for the actual cowl here. And it's the same deal at the back of the cab. I need a curved flange to bolt the cab onto the firewall here. So this is what I've done. I've got some, for the rear one, I've got 1 by 1/8 flat bar. I've taken a couple pieces, just tack welded them together on the end to hold them. And then made these bending jaws to put a gentle curve into the, it's hard to bend flat stock on edge like that, but put a nice gentle curve in. And then the radius at the corners was far too sharp to use just a bending die doing it cold, so I just heated it. I've got a oxypropane torch here. There's if you haven't tried oxypropane before, heck of a lot cheaper than oxyacetylene. If all you're doing is cutting and heating, it's a great alternative. But you need a special rig for that. You need hoses that will handle the propane. Anyway, once I heat the ends, then I just bent them in this simple bending fork here in the vise, and same with those jaws. I just cobbled them together. Those jaws just fit into the vise as well. And anyway, yeah, it's all working very well. So I get the pieces made up for the front and the back. So I've got the forward flange all spot welded to the cowl. That worked out pretty well. Yeah, the spot welder is a little heavy, so I slung it off my cherry picker here to give my biceps a break. So I got the forward flange all bolted on. I've offset it about 40 thou, about the thickness of the front cowl sheet metal, so it all sits flush when it's welded up. So a good rule for building is put the big things in first and then fit the small things around them. Unfortunately, one of the medium-sized things, the battery, is something I just ran out of space for. So originally I planned to put it in the back on the passenger side behind the firewall, but the truck's already way too heavy for rear weight bias. So I decided to put it up in the passenger compartment instead, just behind the front firewall. But the rule books don't allow lead acid batteries inside the passenger compartment. So I've got this lead acid battery. I've also got an anti-gravity battery, same size. So the problem with the anti-gravity is even though they're not prone to kind of runaway fires, the way other lithium-ion batteries are, so they're lithium iron phosphate. They do produce a lot of toxic gas if they're overheated in an accident or something. So basically, what I've done is I built a whole firewall around the battery inside the passenger compartment, and it's got an access door from this side to get the battery in and out. So I'll screw a door on over top of that, but it needs to be vented as well, so I'm going to vent it just under the cowl, and I'll have a removable panel in the top here. And then I've got this other cowl panel that I've bent up here, so I'm getting ready to weld that on, but everything's a tight fit. So I've had the cab on and off the chassis at least a dozen times here, just getting everything to fit. So the front cowl's all welded up now. Turned out pretty good. Got 2 access holes here. One for the clutch and brake reservoirs and the other for the battery. So I just have to make cover panels for those. And then next step, closing the rear. So I've done most of the metal work and welding for the rear firewall, and I've got 2 large access panels, removable access panels to access the front of the engine. And I'm just busy doing the final sheet metal pieces to close in on the back. Working on this piece right now, and just about done. And I made these 2 removable panels for full access to the front of the engine, just made out of aluminum, bead rolled for a little bit extra structure. Anyway, next step, take it all apart again and finish painting the chassis up.